So, I wanted to talk to you guys because I know I've been putting up lately about me transitioning from full-time healthcare career for like 30 years. It's all I know. I've been doing the corporate thing, whatever society deems as successful, but I'm not finding happiness and joy in what I'm doing. I find my happiness and joy come from speaking about the Lord, researching end-time prophecies, current events, things that are relatable to prophecies being fulfilled. I'm a watcher, so of course I still look for the rapture. I'm a pre-tribulation believer in that. Also, I kind of pay attention to what's going on in the Middle East, those things. I am looking at things catapulting with Trump and all these executive orders of bills being signed. It's amazing to live in this generation right now and see all these things happening at the forefront. It's like people talked about it years and years ago. They talked about all of this years and years ago. And you had all of those people who were like, I have to see it to believe it, you know. And some of those people probably have died off. Some of those people probably still are living today. But you had a lot of people who didn't believe what was said then about futuristic things that were in the book of Revelation, in the book of Daniel, and among other places like Matthew. And now you get to live, we get to live through all of those things people didn't believe. And guess what? We still have those who do not believe what they're seeing because they want to relate it to scientific facts. They want to relate it to this is what it's supposed to be. This is the norm. This is what government's controlling. It's climate change. I don't care. Whatever it may be, it still lines up with biblical scripture, biblical prophecy, so on and so forth. And I know I told you guys that I recently purchased a book on Friday. It was called The Prophet's Manual by John Eckert. I've been reading this. So what you guys don't know is maybe sometime in January, I am accustomed to having dreams and visions, and I had a dream. And in that dream, I don't know the meaning behind that dream, but I was sitting amongst another collection of people who were like prophets, prophetess, those who seers, I don't know the correct terminology for them. But I end up sitting with one of them at a table. And what they told me in that dream and I woke up with is that you are a prophetess. But to continue on, I woke up from that dream with the lasting impression of being told that I was a prophetess. Now, a lot of people don't believe there are still prophets and prophetess on earth. But there are places in the Bible that says that, you know, there are currently still prophets here, you know, regardless if they were the ones to bring the new revelations or from back in the day before we knew or they knew of anything versus those that know what's going on, but we still get insight and we still get a message from the Lord to deliver onto the earth for everybody to hear. And so, you know, you get challenged by that. You have people with their beliefs, you know, and that's fine, you know. That's why I want to go into ministry, because I want to hear everybody's perspective, but I also want to plant the seeds to what we should be doing and what we should be following. Yeah, so that's interesting. I want to start doing, like I said, consistency in my videos. I still want dialogue. If I have people who send me videos, things they want to talk about, topics to talk about. And once I do review them, I will be, you know, doing like videos about those. I haven't generated a specific time or day where I want to do this, but I want to remain consistent. As long as I have a video coming on every day, then I'll do lives. I haven't been ready to sit down and do lives yet, but I'll be doing lives and so on and so forth. But it's crazy because this book is very interesting and it talks about a lot of things about a prophet and the things that prophets can sense, their abilities to discern the ability to separate the flesh from the spirit, the ability to recognize when there's spiritual discernment needed. So it's relatively deep, and I love it because everything that it talks about in reference to being some type of prophet or prophetess, and I'm not claiming neither one of those right now, because I still need to pray, I still need to fast, and I still need to make sure I'm hearing what I'm hearing, seeing what I'm seeing, feeling what I'm feeling. I still need to know this. The only way for me to do this is to separate the flesh from the spirit, and that's through fasting. And I have not done that yet, but I promise you I will, because I'm very good at it. So I was just looking at some of these things, and something came upon me about an executive order. I don't know how true it is. I haven't researched it, but something about Trump turning 24 hours into 48 hours. And if that is true, that's going to be interesting, because there's a Bible verse that talks about the change of times and seasons, times and dates, or something like that. And that's interesting. It's like Trump has the welcome, to do a lot of things. And like I said before, it was all within 30 days. Let's just say all within 30 to 45 days now. A lot has been happening, and Elon Musk and Trump, something spiritually is happening with the two of them. And I'm not speaking relatively on a good note, and I'm not speaking relatively on a bad note, but it's questionable. And these are things that I love to research. These are things I love to talk about. These are things that I don't mind debating about. It's like, what in the world is going on right now in front of me, in front of all of us? I'm just sitting back and I'm like, 24 hours? So our day is not going to consist of 48 hours. So we're going to see the sun go up and down twice within one day for it to be considered one day. That's interesting, And a lot of people don't think, they're like, Trump, this is good to have him in office. And think about it. Having him in office and all of these changes, what's allowing all of these changes to happen? Is because we're being catapulted into the end, the actual end to the end times. The door is actually opening up for the Antichrist. All of these works that Trump is doing, and everybody else that's in cahoot to the United States being prosperous and forthcoming, and everybody living abundantly and likable to almost everything he's doing. What did it sound like? Remember, the Antichrist, when time comes, is going to be liked by the entire world, because he's going to bring a peace and security to amongst everyone. And they're going to marvel about how he's able to do it. He's going to be miraculous about doing it. And I'm not saying that's Trump, because no, there are characteristics in the Antichrist that Trump does not have. However, he is opening the pathway for the Antichrist, in which a lot of people are going to be caught off guard, because they're going to be living this abundant life, this joyous life, and someone else that comes to take over and increase that abundance and that prosperous life, they're not going to want to oppose him. Anybody else opposing that person, they're probably going to be the ones to snitch, tell, cause chaos, because who is going to want anyone down talking, or not following, or not worshiping, or not being in unison to whoever this Antichrist person is? So yeah, the destruction will happen. And it's the first 3.5 years that the Antichrist will prove to be this marvelous, miraculous, for the people, for the world, who can fix all the problems. He's going to be that person that lures so many people to take the mark. You know what I'm saying? And those who still don't, there's going to be 3.5 years with the beheading, the off with your head, the torturing, the trying to enforce and make someone take this mark. So there's a lot to discuss. there is a lot to discuss. But I wanted to talk about this book, though, because this book is truly amazing. You know, it talks about a lot of things. It says a prophet, you know, you have a sharp discernment. This is a strong point in prophets. They discern. This is sometimes hard to handle because they are sensitive to the spirit realm. Discernment in the Greek language means judicial estimation, discern, disputation. It comes from a word meaning to separate thoroughly, withdraw, oppose, discriminate, decide, hesitate, contend, make to differ, doubt, judge, be partial, stagger, and waver. So when the discerner is confronted with something that appears good on the outside, but it isn't, it becomes a stumbling block to his spirit. His flesh sees good signs, but his spirit is disputing, opposing, hesitating, contending, differing, doubting, staggering, and wavering against the outward appearance. Discernment is an internal war as one grapples to line up what they perceive with who God is and what is being offered. And this relatively speaks on Hebrew 5:14. So I love what I'm hearing because everything about that dream I'm having is coming to the forefront. And for some strange reason, it's coinciding with the spirit that's within me. So be back. I'll be back. God Be the Glory Ministry. That's the name I was provided, and that's the name I'm going with. God Be the Glory Ministry. I am on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube. The link is in the bio. There are plenty more videos out there, like 200 videos, and they go in depth. Bible verses, current events, revelations, things I talk about. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.